Nigga, we on worldwide television. Can you fight this nigga talking mad shit, man?
No, because you're a piece of shit.
I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua.
His second fight at heavyweight against a bona fide knockout.
The boxing scene just saw an unbelievable moment. Mike Tyson went off on Jake Paul after Anthony Joshua's dominant performance had already stunned fans. Paul's confidence completely collapsed, and his bravado was exposed as empty as his broken jaw. The crowd erupted as Tyson unleashed a brutal verbal takedown, leaving Paul looking ridiculous in front of everyone.
Down to the body with the right hand for Anthony Joshua. There's a big left.
December 19th, 2025 will be remembered as a night reality hit hard. Anthony Joshua stepped into the ring against Jake Paul, and by the time it was over, Paul wasn't just defeated. He was completely crushed. His jaw took a serious hit. His confidence was wiped out, and fans were left in total disbelief. The arena buzzed with shock, not just from the intensity of the fight, but because everyone finally saw years of Jake Paul's online hype and trash talk get utterly dismantled by a true boxing champion. For years, Paul built his reputation on flashy threats and attention-grabbing stunts, constantly claiming he could take down anyone, from legendary fighters of the past to today's top champions. But when the final rounds ended, all that bravado fell apart. Things escalated even further when Mike Tyson stormed in, unleashing a brutal and unforgettable takedown that left the young fighter completely exposed.
Oh, the uppercut, and he took it! Jake Paul took it!
For all of this, Jake Paul had built a persona of being totally fearless and untouchable. He never missed a chance to boast about being the best fighter around, insisting he could take down anyone who stepped in the ring. From press events to social media posts and endless clips online, he was constantly throwing shade at legends like Anthony Joshua, and even taking jabs at Mike Tyson himself.
Oh, the right hand right! Oh!
Even if he does land his best shot at the moment, not that much is going to happen.
His fight promotion was all about big promises, non-stop threats, and that over-the-top confidence he flaunted like a trophy. He thrived on talking smack, creating drama, and generating hype, always painting himself as an unstoppable fighter who could take on anyone. But when it came to real skill in the ring, the results often told a very different story.
No one's done more for the sport of boxing in the past decade than myself, so I think if people really cared about boxing, they'd want.
Paul's whole persona was built on a shaky foundation. His biggest claim to fame was that controversial win over Mike Tyson back in November 2024, which he used as proof whenever anyone questioned his skills. He made sure nobody could forget it. He wasn't just an internet star playing at boxing. He portrayed himself as a legitimate fighter who had beaten a living legend. But after Anthony Joshua's knockout over Paul tonight, that image took a serious hit. Paul now insists his jaw was fractured from the devastating punch, and the footage tells a story. Let's break it down.
Time world champion.
Fast forward to December 19th, 2025. Anthony Joshua stepped into the ring, and from the very first bell, it was clear this wouldn't be another spectacle of hype and theatrics. Joshua had complete control. Every punch he threw was a reminder that real champions don't just talk, they deliver, endure, and finish fights. By the middle of the match, the damage to Jake Paul was undeniable. His jaw was seriously injured, and with every strike, the confidence he had built over years started crumbling. The smirks and arrogance were gone, replaced by shock and pain. Months of boasting, disrespecting legends, and promising victory couldn't have prepared him for the reality unfolding in the ring.
Lighting up, everyone wondering what the hell is happening, and Joshua continues to chop down Paul. Joshua, the Predator, counter right. There's the right hand.
I'm a very respectful guy, brought up by a good family, but if I can kill you, I will kill you. That's just how.
The crowd's reaction made everything hit even harder. Fans erupted for Joshua, a mix of awe and satisfaction filling the arena as they watched a fighter who had built his reputation on words crumble under real skill. Clips of Paul getting dominated went viral on social media, exposing the gap between his trash talk and what he could actually handle in the ring. The contrast between his pre-fight bravado and the brutal reality was impossible to miss. This wasn't just another loss. It was a moment of public reckoning. Hype collided with real talent and got completely obliterated. But Joshua's win was only the start. Mike Tyson, having already faced Paul and knowing what he was made of, stormed in after the fight. The energy was electric, the intensity undeniable. Tyson cornered Paul and unleashed a verbal onslaught, each word landing like a punch. For someone who built a career on talking big and stirring controversy, there was no escape. Every excuse, claim, and boast from Paul's past was shredded by Tyson's relentless critique. In that moment, Paul's public persona didn't just take a hit. It collapsed entirely, proving one undeniable truth to the boxing world. He could talk all he wanted, but when it came to real fighting, he came up short.
And it almost, there's a left hook.
Mike Tyson didn't just stroll into the arena after Joshua's crushing victory. He stormed in like a whirlwind. The energy in the room shifted instantly. Fans, still reeling from seeing Jake Paul take serious damage, turned their full attention to Tyson, sensing something huge was about to unfold. His gaze was filled with pure anger and disbelief. As soon as he got close to Paul, the tension in the arena reached a breaking point. This wasn't a moment for polite congratulations or soft words. It was something much more intense.
He looked angry up there. I've never seen him look so fired up. He was giving it the throat-slashing gestures.
Tyson cornered Paul and unleashed a verbal takedown that cut through all of Paul's hype like a knife. Talk tough all you want. Act like you're unbeatable. But when it counts, you crumble. Tyson's words hit harder than any punch Joshua had thrown just minutes earlier. What made it even more devastating was Tyson's authority. This wasn't some random critic yelling from a crowd. Tyson had faced Paul in the ring, taken his shots, and gone the distance. Every word carried the weight of real experience. There was no need for self-promotion. His record and reputation spoke for themselves. Meanwhile, Paul, who had spent months trash-talking, mocking legends, and claiming he was untouchable, suddenly looked like a kid caught in a lie. Every excuse he tried to make, I wasn't going all out, or this time was different, was shredded by Tyson's relentless stare and unflinching honesty, making the verbal destruction even more brutal.
Of the world, respectfully. That's just the mentality we have to have as fighters. I don't know if any other fighter thinks that way. Maybe they're a bit more tame. But the things I watch and the way my mind works, when you're in that ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. You hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that
The crowd's energy was off the charts. Some fans stood frozen, jaws dropped, while others erupted in cheers, loving every second of watching someone who couldn't stop talking get completely humbled. Cameras captured every step back Paul took, and everyone in the arena felt the intensity. This wasn't just a verbal takedown. It was a moment of raw, unfiltered truth. Social media exploded. Clips of Tyson confronting Paul went viral in minutes, with hashtags like #JakePaulDestroyed and #TysonUnleashed trending everywhere. The spectacle had moved beyond just a fight itself. It was Paul's entire ego being torn apart in front of the world.
I was thinking too, maybe Tank isn't used to being...
Paul's collapse was total, wobbly, bleeding, and utterly humiliated. There was no way to save face or protect his pride. Every ounce of confidence he'd built online, every boast about taking down legends, every viral clip of him disrespecting opponents, all crumbled in seconds. His usual excuses, claims that he wasn't going all out or holding back, meant nothing. Tyson's word combined with Joshua's knockout left him completely exposed, someone who could talk big but couldn't deliver in the ring. The impact went far beyond the physical. His online persona, built on arrogance and drama, was demolished instantly. Fans and critics alike couldn't get enough, sharing clips, mocking his meltdown, and celebrating the downfall of a fighter who had relied more on hype than actual skill.
Because Anthony Joshua is out there saying that he's gonna...
The opinions of boxing legends made the blow even harder. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury didn't hold back. Their take was harsh but spot on. Paul could talk all he wanted and stir up attention, but in the ring, he simply didn't perform like a real fighter. Anthony Joshua's quiet presence nearby said it all. He had completely dominated Paul, and watching this future of boxing crumble in front of the world was all the proof anyone needed. Tyson's prior experience with Paul only underscored the weight of his verbal takedown. When a legend like Tyson calls your bluff, there's no coming back. In the eyes of the boxing community, Paul's reputation as a legitimate contender was effectively gone. He wasn't a serious fighter, just a sideshow whose mouth was bigger than his skills. That night delivered lessons far beyond the fight themselves. Trash talk, manufactured drama, and social media fame can never replace real talent, heart, and dedication. Paul's empire of hype, controversy, and self-promotion was completely dismantled by the harsh reality of genuine boxing. Tyson's role symbolized that truth. Hype alone cannot survive when the bell rings. December 19th, 2025 became more than just a fight. It was a moment of absolute clarity. Paul's reputation, built on noise and bravado, was shattered. After it was over, the reality was undeniable. He could run his mouth, sell tickets, and grab clicks, but when real punches landed and the crowd watched, he couldn't fight like a true champion. The combination of Joshua's knockout and Tyson's relentless confrontation left no room for debate. Words without action are meaningless, and fame without skill can vanish in an instant. This chapter of Paul's career serves as a stark reminder of arrogance over confidence, and what happens when hype finally meets reality.